Hi, just wanted to let you know a little bit about Ready Rating. Ready Rating started here in the St. Louis office in 2008 and is now a program that is available nationwide. So I wanted to run through the PowerPoint that we have and explain how it works and some of the features that it has, and then we'll go to the actual website itself and I'll show you live how it actually looks on the website. So this is the American Red Cross Ready Rating program. A little bit about why people should prepare. Up to 40% of businesses fail following a disaster when they don't have a plan. 94% of small business owners believe that a disaster could seriously disrupt their business within the next 2 years. And as we know, disasters come in many forms, and insurance coverage may not save the day. A lot of people just depend on insurance, and we know now that it's not a wise thing to do. 4 out of 5 businesses fail following the loss of a key executive, and 1/3 of the businesses surveyed have absolutely no business continuity plan whatsoever. So the good news is 82% of the businesses agreed if someone would just make it easy for us, if someone would make it easy for us to be prepared, they do it. So that's what Ready Rating really is. It's a way to make preparedness easy, and it's a way to make it measurable. So this is the first emergency readiness program of its kind. It's all done online, and it's free, and it's confidential. Some of the program highlights, it's designed to allow businesses, schools, and organizations to dramatically improve their level of preparedness. It quantifies an organization's preparedness. Instead of saying that you are sort of good at something and you're kind of good at something else, it actually gives you a number so you can see that when you're improving, your scores will go up. It generates a customized report when you're finished so that you can see what it is you need to work on and what it is that you want to focus your efforts on. It allows you to create your own customized emergency response plan through this easy online tool. You can stop and start it at any time. You can add to it and update it at any time as well. And another great thing about Ready Rating is that it's free. Some of the highlights of the program, our membership has tripled, and 93% of the members say that the service is good to excellent. 75% of the members have updated their plans due to Ready Rating, and 70% of the members have educated their employees about the preparedness programs that we have, which we think is really great. We want the employees to know what to do. And so as a result of all that, we found that Ready Rating members have increased their scores, some by as much as 42%, which is tremendous. Right now, as of today, we have 7,589 overall members. Of that, 6,472 are the businesses and organizations, and 1,117 of those members are schools. So we are growing rapidly and are encouraging businesses, organizations, and schools all around the country to join the program. Who can join the program? We have businesses large and small. We have all different types of public, private, parochial schools, again, that are large and small, nonprofits, healthcare organizations, financial institutions, insurance agencies, retailers, manufacturers, and real estate agencies. So what you're doing is creating a plan for your business, your organization, your school, or your faith-based organization to have some type of a disaster plan. These are some of the examples of members that we have. Our founding sponsor is Anheuser-Busch, and as you can see here in St. Louis, we have WashU, we have Express Scripts, we have Monsanto. There's all sorts of members all across the country. The key steps for the Ready Rating program, number one, you have to join. We want to know who we're working with, and you have to complete the online assessment so you can see how you're doing. That's basically the first thing you want to do is what do I need to work on? The second step is you see what your hazards are, find out what the possible threats to your business would be, and then see the impact that they would have on your business. The third step is you want to either develop a plan if you don't have one, or if you already have some type of an emergency plan, you want to enhance that and make it even better. You can create an action plan for before, during, and after emergencies. The fourth step is to practice your plan. It doesn't do any good to have a great plan if nobody knows about it and nobody knows what to do. So you really do have to practice your plan. what we really want to do is integrate that preparedness culture into every business, organization, and school. And then the fifth step is show your community that you care. So reach out into the community and help others that might not be able to have all the preparedness tips that you have, and let them know about the program. This is the scorecard that you take after you take your assessment. We're really big on colors, so if you have a green, that means you did a great job in that particular area. If you have a yellow, that means you have opportunities to improve. And if you have a red, that means you have a real opportunity to improve. And this just allows you to track how you're doing. Every time you take the assessment, you can print out a scorecard and see how you've improved. This is what the website looks like, and as I said, we'll go to that in just a minute. We've added a couple of great tools: the Next Steps report, the Emergency Response Planner tool, a peer comparison report, and the Resource Center. They have great tips on those things. This is the Next Steps report. It allows you to see what you can do after you've taken the assessment. We had a lot of people say, okay, we've taken the assessment, now what? And so this program responds question by question based on how you answered the assessment. So for example, the check mark here, that means that person answered yes to this particular question, and it's really tiny print, but it says congratulations on something, something, something. And so you know that you've done a good job on that one. This first one here, the one that has 1 dot, that would be an easy thing to do. And you might as well just do the easy things and get them over with. 2 dots means you have a little bit more effort involved, and 3 dots means there's a little bit more effort involved. So this is a great way you can do it at your own speed. You can pace yourself, work on it when you can, and become better prepared as a result. This is the emergency response planning tool. For a lot of people, for most people really, just trying to put together an emergency response plan is just overwhelming, and they really don't know what to do. This allows you to go through and check or uncheck certain points if you want them included on your plan. This is where you check or uncheck, and again, we'll go to the website live. It gives you information in easy to understand language. We don't throw a lot of acronyms in, and it allows you to choose from best practices and just really put what is important to your business, organization, or school. This is the Resource Center. This is where you can get a lot of sample forms and templates. You can choose what you want to use. This is a new feature, a relatively new feature. A lot of schools will use this. The principal or the superintendent usually of a school district can be the organizational manager, and that person can see the scores for the assessments for each of their schools. But the schools can't see each other's because remember, the scores are confidential unless you have an organizational ID. This is a great way for schools. We also have one of our local not-for-profits, our YWCA. They have a lot of Head Start programs and other programs that are in different facilities. Each one of them have joined and completed their assessment, and the bosses can see how they're doing and what their scores are to encourage them to continue to become better prepared. It's a great feature for these schools and places that have multiple locations. This is what your assessment scores can look like. This is what you'll see as the organizational manager. You can see what the scores are. You can archive them. There's a lot of different tools on here to use. This is where you print your assessments, or if you want to take a new assessment, this is what it looks like. This is the seal that we're very proud of. People can download this when they're members. They can put it on their own website. They can put it on letterhead. They can include it in their emails. It's a great way to show the community that you are being proactive about the safety of your employees, your customers, your students, whoever. It looks great. It's a nice thing to have. And then these are our program sponsors. Founding sponsor, again, is Anheuser-Busch, and our national sponsor is ServPro. So that is the actual PowerPoint that you can use. It's on, you can get it off the Exchange. And excuse me, now I want to show you the website. ReadyRating.org is the website. And if you click, let's see, let me go back one and see if I can get to the actual website. ReadyRating.org, sorry. This is what people will see when they go to the actual website, ReadyRating.org. This is the first thing that people will see when they go to that site. There's a lot of information here. This is the member login, and we'll talk about that in a minute. Some people will just go straight to take the assessment, but they have to join first. That's something. So in order for them to join, and I can only go partway on this because we don't want to create all these extra fake people. When people join, they get the 10% discount at the Red Cross store, which is great, and they get access to all of the things on the website. So there's 3 screens like this. This is where they just let us know who they are. It's not a lot of information. It probably takes a total of, I don't know, 30 to 45 seconds to sign up. So that is not the big problem here. This is that organizational ID. If that's what you choose to have, our national organization Ready Rating team will assign an organizational ID number, and that's where the superintendent's office or the managers or supervisors of a company can put that organizational ID so they can see how their other people are doing. So I can't go any further on this without actually creating something. So we'll go back. So this is, again, what it looks like. There's a nice video here. You can check these out. This is the First Aid app. We always try to encourage people to download the app. So to log in, after you join, you'll be sent from the National Ready Rating team an email that says, welcome, and here is your username, and here's your password. So we always encourage people, save that email, flag it, because that's how you're going to get in each time. If for some reason people forget, there's, of course, always a way they can get that information. If they remember their username, they can put that in and then click on forgot password, and they will receive the password at the email address that they gave when they signed up. So for right now, we'll just use a generic code. Oops, we'll go into the business one. That was a C. And then you log in. Okay, so now we're in. If I was Elm Elementary School, this would say Elm Elementary School. If I was ABC Business, that's what this would say, so they know they're in the right spot, and they always will be. This just gives them the general information, welcome. If they want a hard copy of the member agreement, most people don't anymore. This is just more information. So the whole thing is about taking that assessment. I'm just going to run through this top line. If you want to know more about the program in general, there's great information on any of those listings. Our sponsors are listed, can never give them enough plugs. Again, ServPro, Anheuser-Busch, and then the Community Safety Foundation. How it works, this is a great couple pieces of information if you're trying to help people understand why they need to join the program and how easy it is. The Toolbox has the Resource Center and the Glossary of Terms. Frequently Asked Questions has a lot of great information, just, again, really basic information. Contact information, if you have a problem with, question about the program or a technical problem, there's phone numbers there for you to reach. Manage My Account is if you need to change email information as a member or just change anything that you used when you signed in. The Assessment Center, that's the center of everything, and I'll come right back to that. Emergency Response Planner, the Program Guide, and the Member Seal. Remember, that's what you can download. So let's go to the Assessment Center, since that's why most people are joining this, in order to find out how they're doing. This is what it looks like. We always encourage first-time users to get these additional tips. It just kind of helps them understand what the program is about, so I would encourage you to look at that. Take new assessment, print the assessment, or download a blank assessment. Some places will use a safety team to complete the whole assessment. It's too much for one person. We encourage the safety teams because you'll need somebody from facilities. If you have anyone who has any medical experience, a medical department, whatever, they should be a part of this. So it might be that you sit down with them as a team, everybody has a copy of this blank assessment, and you go through it as a group, and then one person enters the information online. That's what we recommend. That's what we hope people can do, but sometimes a business is not that big, and there's one person to do it all, and if that's the case, they can just take it directly online, or they still might want to have that blank assessment just to use as a worksheet. So let's look at the assessment. And so you can have an idea of what to expect. We're waiting, there it is. Okay, we're really big on colors again, so this is, we haven't answered anything, so everything would be red. 5 basic steps. First, they have to commit to join. We hope that their CEO or some type of executive in their company knows about this, is aware of the agreement, and has said, yes, go. Probably the person filling this out is the Ready Rating coordinator. Somebody from the company is responsible for taking this, so that's generally a yes. And then they need to get extra points, so there's this one that says we're in the process of completing this. We had to give them a hint to go ahead and check this one, so now you see the box is green. So on this one, this is kind of a gimme 10 points. So you can stop at any time, you can save for later, but we'll go on, continue. Now we'll be on step 2. Conduct a hazard vulnerability assessment. People read this, and this is kind of where they stall. I see 10 points a lot of times, and that they get freaked by an HVA. They don't know what to do. So I'll show you when we get to the Resource Center, our version, the Red Cross Hazard Assessment Guide. It's very simple. It's 1 page front and back. This is what I encourage everyone to use. It's not so intimidating. But this is where a lot of people get stuck. So don't get stuck, and I'm trying to remember where this assessment guide is located. So this goes through a couple different things. You know, the physical capacity, the supplies, all of these questions just help you realize what you have and what you don't have, and what are the things that you feel confident about. I encourage people, don't say yes unless it's solid. Don't say, well, yeah, we sort of do, so I'm going to click yes, because people tend not to go back and look at a yes answer. So they'll just keep going to the different steps again. This is the 3rd step. You join, you've decided here's what it is that we need to worry about in my business or organization or school. Then you're going to develop your emergency plan. If you already have a plan, you might just use this as a guideline. If you don't have a plan, this is a great way for you to kind of see how you need to develop it and what you need to work on. You need to have a clearly designated leadership structure with chain of command. Who says now we're going to the basement if the tornado sirens go off, or now we need to get out of the building just for safety. So it goes through a lot of questions. Check yes or no, goes all the way down. I know you want to go back and look at all this, so we'll continue. This is step 4. Now that you have a plan, you have to implement that plan. You have to practice it. So people need to be trained. They need to know what to do. What are the company's warning and communication procedures? You know, do you do that? No, some of our employees, but not all of them, or yes. So you can get various points on these. A lot of them are 1 point, but a lot of them are 2 as well. So you'll go through this. These are some of the supplies that you might have. A first aid kit for each one of these, you get a point. How many people are, or at least you want to identify the teams that are trained in CPR and first aid. Red Cross recommends having at least 10% of the employees trained. These are all ways you can get points. Do you offer CPR and first aid training? There are a lot of really easy things, reminding employees to always keep their emergency contact information current. So this is not necessarily rocket science. It's just thinking about it, planning for it, and then sharing that information. Providing emergency preparedness training to each new person. That's part of that culture of preparedness. Just as people are told about their insurance and how to take a day off, they should also be told about the emergency preparedness plans that each company has, so that they're safe as well. Scrolling on down, they talk about tabletops. Do you do those? Do you have a continuity of operations activation drill each year? A lot of great things for companies to consider. Sometimes they don't even know what they don't know, so this is a great way for them to become aware of some things that we think are important. And then the last thing is to help the community. We want you to reach out, host a blood drive, start an educational campaign on how to be safe, have some of the employees trained as disaster volunteers that can go out and work on a DR. Can you be a shelter for the Red Cross? Can you contribute supplies? Can you invest in services and programs, provide scholarships, maybe adopt a school that needs some disaster and emergency preparedness programs implemented, redirect prepaid advertising space during a disaster. So there's a lot of ways that people can reach out and help someone other than themselves. So then when they're finished, they will click Finish, and that lets the chapter know that that assessment has been completed. So this is the one that we just did. Just click the first 10 points, and that's what that shows. When you want to see that next steps report, this is the only place to get it, under Reports, and then click on Next Steps. We like to see things in full color. And the Next Step report will pop up momentarily. There we go. Again, we're big on color. So there's our green bar. We got those first 10. So we got an excellent, a wonderful, and a fantastic, because we are. Then we didn't click anything else, so we're not going to get a lot of good information. Normally there's going to be, if I clicked no, you'd see a lot of information here about go to this, try this, here's a website, a lot of great information that can help people turn those no's into yeses, which we think they'll want to do because they're in the program. Oh, we just went back, didn't we? Okay, so this is the report. Again, if you want to print what you took, that's what you need to take. Let me find one that's got some information so you can see the great information. Well, we'll go with this 48. We'll go to Next Steps. A lot of people don't use this, and they take the assessment and then they're stuck because they really don't know what their next step is. And this is such a great tool for them to use. And for, as Red Cross people, be able to offer what should they do without having to be there every step of the way. People like to do this stuff on their own. So, down. Okay, so here's a lot of great information. These people checked no on this one, so this one's talking about a comprehensive emergency management plan. There's all sorts of great information that's available to the Ready Rating members that helps them, again, turn those no's into yeses. Okay. This one. So people can activate it if they want, or archive it. If they've taken a lot of assessments, maybe they don't want to see all that. That's what this is. This is how they view their scorecard. If they want to see what they took before, this is all the ones that particular Ready Rating member would have taken, and they can go back and see how they've done. If they've lost a printed copy or something, they can always go back and have that available to them. So let's look at a couple other things. The Ready Rating Toolbox is amazing. The glossary of terms, it is a glossary of terms that you don't sit down and just read as light reading is. If you don't understand one particular term, it's someplace to go. The Resource Center has all the templates and a lot of great information. Educate, this has all of the tear sheets that we have, emergency checklist for small businesses. You can download all of these things, or it's a link. There's the Safe and Well website, emergency contact card, and then all the fact sheets. There are pages and pages which Ready Rating members can download these, can print them and send them to, give them to their employees, or email these to their employees. There's just a lot of great information, power outages, pets, flu. Go back up now. And then for the planning, this is where, remember I talked about the hazard vulnerability assessment. This is where it is. It's under Plan, and it's the second one. Okay, so it's under Plan, under Resource Center. This is what it's going to look like. It takes a second to download. This is so much easier than them going to their local emergency management agency. Okay, this is a hazard vulnerability worksheet. It prints on legal size paper. So you want to look at the impact that it has on all these different things, and then you want to choose what it is that what you're talking about. Do you have fires where you are? What's the likelihood of having a wildfire? What's the likelihood of having severe weather, hazardous material spills, all of these things. So you would go down, and then you start going across. What's the human impact? I mean, I'm in St. Louis. We are not going to have hurricanes, so that would be a 1. But we absolutely have tornadoes and seems like everything else. So we encourage them to use this. It's simple. It just kind of gets them focused on what it is they need to be talking about and worrying about, really. Okay, so that's where the hazard vulnerability worksheet is located. This has other information, guidance on hostage and kidnapping situations. People don't really think about that. A facility description form, I really like this form. It saves people from having to start from scratch, which people just don't really know how to do. They just get overwhelmed. So this has a lot of great information. All these 15 pages of great information that they fill in. It's just a template, and they use it as, you know, as they see fit. If they don't have the need for this, well, then that's fine. They don't need to use it, but it's got great information. Evacuation procedures, emergency contact forms, situational awarenesses, damage assessment form, and there's another entire page of that as well. And then the last one is the practice, and there's just a couple on this one, but these are two really nice ones. An after-action report. Anytime you have, whether it's the real deal or just a drill, you want to know how did you do, what did you do well, what can you improve upon next time. This gives you the form for that, and we really encourage people. It's a very simple form, but it's something that the members don't have to fill out. I mean, they don't have to create, they just have to fill it out. Okay, so this is the resource guide, resource center, sorry. Let's look at the emergency response planner. This is another one of the newer tools. People can choose what they want to have included in this. If it doesn't pertain to them, they uncheck it. So let's just look at general information, and we'll edit this. All these things, they can take this off or not. It just depends on what they want. If they don't want a cover page, if they want to do their own, all of these are available to them to use or not use. They can learn a little bit. Sometimes there's a nice explanation. Sometimes it's not very explanatory. Let's look at chain of command. Each one of these you edit and unedit. Plan, who activates the plan. This just gives a lot of information. One really nice thing about this is, you know, if you like that, but oh, you want to add something yourself, you click on this little green cross here, and then you can say, our company is going to do this, that, and the other. And if you want to give names and whatever, you can add it and make it very personal, update it, and then there it is. So that's a great thing. If you have questions when you're going through this thing, this is like the little parking lot that we all have at our meetings. You can just type questions in here that you might want to think back to a little bit later on. So this goes all the way across, and as you complete each one, you know, you can say complete this section, and then it'll show that that's complete, and your percentages will continue to rise until you get 100%, or you can print it at any time. But it's a great program. It's not overwhelming. There's a lot of pages, but some pages are only half of a page of information. It just depends on what they choose to have on there. So this is, I like this a lot. This is a great thing. Program guide. If people are really at the beginning of their preparedness journey and they just don't know the terminology and the information, this goes through that assessment and gives them just some general information. This is the other place you can get that HVA. But it's just information that helps them understand maybe what the questions are. I usually tell people if you don't understand the question, you probably don't do this. So that's pretty much the program. I encourage you to go through and look at all the pieces, the components, so that when you're out in the community talking about the program, it might be something that you remember that was in the planner that might be especially helpful to whoever you're talking with. The SEAL, again, is a great way for them to let their community know that they're being very proactive about the safety of their employees or students or whoever. We really want schools to be a part of this. They have a different track. When they join, you either say that you are a business and organization or you're a school. So the schools have their own track. It's much the same, but they talk about students and staff instead of employees. So we love when our schools are our members here. Okay, any questions or anything, you can always contact the information. It's right on the website. And let them know that you have questions. Email just readyrating@redcross.org. encourage your community members to be a part of it. So thanks for listening, and we hope that you go out and encourage people to join Ready Rating.